IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. Today's fun fact of the day has to do with roosters. Did you know that roosters crow at almost anything, and crowing is a sign of dominance? The crow of a rooster is designed to help mark his territory. You see, chickens and roosters originated in the wild, dense forests of India, Thailand, Myanmar, and China. In that dense forest, it would have been difficult to mark one's territory. Hence, this loud, annoying crow evolved to pass through and warn other roosters around. We, of course, know about roosters and their crowing because of their first crow in the morning. That loud, annoying call has for centuries been the alarm clocks of our forefathers. What is interesting is that roosters do not crow at sunrise. In fact, they crow 2 hours before sunrise. And this puzzled scientists because they could not figure out why this silly bird had taken on the role of being the world's alarm clock. Finally, research conducted by Takashi Yoshimura helped answer all the questions about roosters. Yes, I am serious. He actually went and studied why roosters crow. And he learned a few amazing things. No matter how hard they tried to confuse the rooster by putting him in a dark room or exposing him to bright lights at random times, the rooster would always start crowing 2 hours before the real dawn outside. So their body clock was tuned with the cycle of the sun so perfectly. Hence, the crow of the rooster had nothing to do with sunlight, but his own body clock. The second thing they learned was that the most dominant rooster would always crow first. And what is interesting is just like the rooster, we too have our own body clock that is designed to work in sync with the world around us. This is called the circadian rhythm. It's the rhythm of nature, the cycles of the seasons and the sun. Our bodies have lived in sync with it for hundreds of thousands of years. I will keep referring to the circadian rhythm in various podcasts because it is so important. Our hormones and even our gut bacteria are linked to it. Different hormones are released at different times of the day, and hence any disruption in our circadian rhythm has an effect on our hormones. Hence, people who live internationally and travel a lot over different time zones have a lot of problems because of this. And more of this on an episode on jet lag that we will do soon. Today, I want to share with you a very important feature of our circadian rhythm: waking up times. Do you know waking up and going to bed times are etched into our DNA? Different people have different waking up and going to bed times. Some follow a strange sleep cycle of going to sleep at 2 and then waking up at 9, while others sleep at 10 and wake up at 5. While a majority will sleep at around 11 and wake up by 7ish. And these DNA times are ideal for your body type. The problem comes when we artificially try and sleep late or early or try and wake up early. Remember, the body knows sleep based on the circadian rhythm. We end up altering it artificially through watching TV or staying out or using very bright lights at home. And another very simple way in which we alter the natural rhythm is by setting alarms. We wake up early or artificially because of the alarm. We no longer know what our natural waking up time is. Imagine if the body wants to wake up at 7 and you wake up at 5 because it is considered the power hour or golden hour. The problem is that we will never know this because our sleep times are not fixed either. Unless we try and figure out what our natural sleep cycle is, we will always be fighting our natural biology. So imagine if you no longer had to rely on your alarm clock to wake you up. No more annoying beep, 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 beep in the morning. You would wake up with your sleep cycle and when it gets over. Here's what you have to do. For one weekend, don't plan any activity for the evenings. Post 9:30, put off the TV, computer, phone, and turn down the lights to as dim as possible. You can listen to some soft music, have a conversation with someone, or read a book, but not an ebook. Note the time you feel like falling asleep. This is as close to your natural time as possible. The important thing here is not to force yourself to sleep. It should come naturally. Now make sure you do not have an alarm set for the morning. In the morning, as soon as you open your eyes, get out of bed and see the time. This is as close to your natural wake-up time as possible. Make a note. Now, do this for 2 nights in a row and see if you sleep and wake up at the same time. Don't sit and judge yourself if you wake up too early or too late. So from your wake-up time, now calculate 7.5 hours backwards, and that should be your ideal going to bed time or sleep time. Remember, the trick to waking up without an alarm is to sleep at the right time. Each sleep cycle is, say, about 90 minutes, and hence you get about 5 sleep cycles if you have 7.5 hours of sleep. Your body will wake you up naturally at the right time. So your simple habit to wake up without an alarm and respect your circadian rhythm starts with figuring out what your individual bioclock is tuned for. Then make sure you sleep at the right time every night. And you can do this by setting up a sleep alarm. And we will link that episode in the show notes below. Sleeping without an alarm has been one of the most liberating changes that I have made. This of course works best when you have a set schedule for the day and you are not catching any early morning flights. So let your inner rooster free and wake up using the body clock from now onwards. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.
Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Careers in the new podcast series presented by Accenture. I'm your host, Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay. In this podcast series, we'll get you the latest and greatest in the world of technology that's shaping the future of business as we know it. We're talking intelligent platforms, cloud, AI, blockchain, extended reality, and a whole lot more. Every fortnight on Wednesdays, we'll have for you a hot topic with expert speakers from Accenture talking about top trends in the space, how these are changing the world and creating growth across industries. And importantly, we'll tell you how you can learn more, build your skills and expertise to grow and stay relevant in your career. Episodes out on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcast from.